Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hotel Cockerel, the results show for the week 12 competition results. I hope everybody is well in the world, wherever you're watching from, whether you're watching now or whether you're playing back. As I said, I hope everyone's well. You've got Alan popped in earlier. Alan says, I don't chat. Start it again with the right bloody headphones. Good afternoon, everyone, and I hope everyone's well. Welcome to week 12 competition results here on Hotel Cockerel. I hope that everybody is well wherever you are in the world and whatever it is that you are doing. I hope you're all safe and warm and all tucked in and ready for the winter's evening, because it's starting to get dark now here. Well, where I am, it's starting to get dark, so I presume the rest of the country's starting to get dark as well. But yeah, you got Alan here, says hi Jose in chat. Hit the like and run back to work. I'll catch this episode on playback. Hope everyone is well and families are all well. Yes, thank you very much. I hope you and your family are also well, Alan. God bless you. Shem's here. Shem says hello, Mr. Bossman, Jose, and everyone in the chat. Hope everyone's having a good week. Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's my daughter's birthday today, so my twins are both 19 today, and I'm doing this show, and then we're going out for a meal. So I've got to be quick to do a show and get out for a meal. So I will deliver the results and then go out for my meal with my family. Ryan G says good afternoon, Jose. Good afternoon, Ryan. Archer says good afternoon, Jose. Chat. Good afternoon, Archer. I hope you're well, mate. I hope you're well. Daz says, big up Jose in chat. Hope all is well. Good afternoon, Daz. I hope you are well as well. Ryan G is telling us all, I had a stinker, I think, especially on FPL. Horrendous. Well, all will be revealed. All will be revealed. Spurs Talk. God, look, we have Rorty in the house. I've got Spurs Talk Show here. Look who it is. It's my man Sean. Hello, Sean. I hope you're well, sir. Nice to see you. Nice. I'm not sure whether you're going on Saturday, Sean. Normally do. It's going to be a late one. We kick off in the evening. Daz Reynolds is here. And Daz says, I am well, Jose. Off work all week. So you got a week off then, Daz? That's fantastic if you've got a week off, mate. Fantastic news. I hope that you rest up, you do what you need to do. Have you taken it off for any reason? Are you going to go and get presents? Are you lining up for Christmas? Or you just had to chill from work for a week? Or did you have to take leave before a certain period? There's it's quite a lot that goes on when people take time off. I've got 2 more weeks left of work. So I've got next week and the week after, and then I'm off for 3 weeks. So I'll be off for 3 weeks this year. Seeing that that we never have a reliable train service where I live throughout Christmas and New Year, so I always end up taking Christmas and New Year off, and I tend to do 3 weeks to give me some time to myself because the family is still all at work, at uni and stuff like that. So I tend to get a little bit of me time. So yeah, so that's good. That's good. You're going for meals out. Okay, fantastic. Roddy's here, says big up Jose. Good afternoon, Ronnie. And then says Frank is on thin ice. I had Caicedo and Estevao, and Maresca leaves them both out. Yeah, it was interesting to see Chelsea's lineup. I mean, I play a different competition of fantasy football, like the original version that was invented 20 odd years ago by, I think, was it the Telegraph that did it? When Skinner and Badil used to do it in there. So we play that, and I play with a load of people. We're in our 26th year of playing it, and Estevao is one of the players that I purchased in the auction, and I think I got him for 6 million. So we do it where you've got your goalkeeper gets given to you, or you get given a team, so you get their goalkeeper, and then after that you've got to go for a 3-4-3 system, and you get 50 million to spend on them 10 outfield players, and you do it by auction and by bidding. And I think I bought Estevao for 6 million. and I expected Estevao to be playing a lot more than what he has. I've got plenty of high hopes for that, but I know he doesn't play for us. But I think that he's gonna electrify the Premiership. I think he's a really, really naturally gifted footballer, and he can do a lot of things. He hasn't got the biggest the frames, but you don't need the biggest of frames, do you? So at the end of the day, yeah, I've just got to wait for him to fire. Who else you got? You got Nick's here. Nick says good morning to me, and good morning to you, Nick. I hope you are well. Dad says, what did I think of the red card last night? I did not see the game last night. I've read all about it. I've seen. I don't know, but if you watched it live, you probably saw it. But the highlights that they show on Sky Sports News don't really show you much about. It's like the camera angle is completely away from it all, and Sky Sports News, I couldn't see much of it at all. But I've heard the interview, excuse me, from their manager, and he says that he likes a bit of fight amongst his players. Personally, I find it, for me, it'd be embarrassing if that was to happen. I'd find it embarrassing, but it is what it is, and whatever happened, they ended up going and getting a victory yesterday at Man United's ground. Ryan G says, I've left Esteban for weeks now, and he's always on the bench. He should be starting. Archer says, I can't blame Frank when he's only had one transfer window and that the owners failed to address replacing Son, especially, and made reactionary signings in Simmons and Colomani to replace injured players. Archer, all I've got to say on the old transfer front is I would take the transfer front and I would go back to when Pochettino started his tenure. And even before that, to be honest, it's even before that. I think Redknapp was dealt a bad hand. I think Martin Jol. I think other managers were dealt a bad hand as well. But the highlight for me is since Pochettino took over. I just think that Tottenham have scrimped and scraped. No strategy whatsoever. They just scrimped and scraped, gone for bargain buys, and we have decimated the squad that we had whilst Pochettino was there, and even whilst he was there. Let's face facts, Pochettino had to rub some diamonds because they were rough and they came up gleaming. But yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. To have a team of 11 players, excuse me, to have a team of 11 players or a team of 16, if you're going to look at the 5 subs as well for each game, if we are going out there and we can't create, against anybody, we created more last night or when we played Sunday or whatever than what we did against Chelsea. And I was at the Chelsea game. Chelsea game was appalling. We created more. We had 3 chances, I think, against Arsenal. So we created more against Arsenal than what we did against Chelsea. So being at the game against Chelsea was, well, it was sickly to say the least. Ryan's agreeing about Esteban as a good player. I actually wasn't too impressed with the first few games I watched of him for Brazil and Palmeiras, but now I can see how good he is. He is a top player. He's a really good player. Paul G's here. Good afternoon, Paul. I hope you're well. Welcome back, Paul. Welcome back. Nice to have you. You got Aston Villa, and he says it's another pasting incoming for the Wolves. Nick says that he thinks that the red was kind of soft, but whatever. We have a game tonight, Ryan, at home against Hereford. Who do you support in, Daz? We've got Hereford tonight. Ryan says, other than football, he's good, Nick. Hope you're well, mate. So we shall start. But Ronnie's put in a comment before we start. Ronnie says, we all know the transfers have been shit for years now, but the squad Frank has, we should be playing better than we are. It's pathetic. Yeah, I just can't understand. I just can't understand how we can't create with the teams that we've got. I think the Paulinho and Bentancur double pivot doesn't work. Doesn't work in the main. It doesn't work. One works without the other. So for me, I'd go back to rotating them. I don't think Paulinho and Bentancur work. because when they got the third midfielder in there, the two of them are so far away from the third midfielder. I think you need an in-between midfielder. So, yeah, I mean, if you had Paulinho, Kulusevski, and Simmons, I think you'd be cooking. You'd be cooking on gas. I think we miss a striker as well. We miss a striker. Although Richie got an absolute worldie of a goal, and he did. He got a worldie of a goal. Although he did that, we miss a striker big time. Ronnie says we all know the transfers have been shit for years now, but the squad, Frank. Sorry, I've read that. People saying hello to each other. Archer says, interestingly enough, the transfers have been particularly bad since we moved into the new stadium, which is supposed to give us the advantage for the extra revenue streams. Daz says, Liverpool in the Premiership. Chester's my local team, Jose. 3 rows up behind the dugout is my seat. Fantastic. I remember when Chester, because Chester, is it Chester that have come back up? Did they go? They went down, didn't they? Or was it Chesterfield? Who went down into the National League? Anyway, it's nice that you support your own club. That's really, really good. Right, we're going to start, people. We're going to start. And we always start with Predict the Prem. So share the screen for Predict the Prem. And Predict the Prem, as could be seen there, or not seen, depending where you're watching on. I am leading by 37 points from Kevin Clark. He's my closest challenger in this competition. I'm leading by 37 points. I had a poor week this week, which meant my goal difference took a battering. Look, my goal difference is now -1. It's the first time this season that my goal difference, after 12 weeks of doing predictions, I'm finally on minus goal difference of -1. Everybody else has got a lot more minuses than what I have. But yeah, I currently lead it by 37 points. Archer is in third with 91, a point ahead of Vinders, who's got 90. Scott C is up into fifth with 88, and Ronnie's Ronnie's in sixth with 87. Shem, dark horse, Shemtan is in seventh with 86. Chris Peters, Graham are on 70, 79 and separated by goal difference. Ryan and Jess are both with 78 and separated by goal difference. And then you've got Fiona and Carl Simpson on 77, again, both separated by goal difference. Then we have Neil on 74. Daz is on 70, but he's missed 2 weeks. Ed M is on 69. Tot Spurs has missed a week, but he's on 66. Rob Belcher says that he's missed a couple of weeks here. He's on 61. Paul G. Got to get back in the swing of things, Paul. But Paul currently in 19th. He's not far. But one good week, and Paul could be flying up that table. Then you have Darren on 37, Side Darts 25, Patrick O'Donnell, and finally Quez Ali. Right, so game number 2 of the stuff that we play here is Fantasy Premier League. And in the Fantasy Premier League, your scores on the doors this week are, I feel, and I haven't looked into this too much, but I feel that that people didn't do as well as what they possibly could do in this. I didn't think it was a particularly high scoring week, but I'm going to look at the bottom. So we've got 62 players playing. Sahil, once again, is last. But look, Sahil's got 67 points this week. So he has closed the gap because Sahil missed the first few weeks. He missed quite a chunk of the first few weeks. And he has got up to 390. So he's closing the gap on the people above him. Scott C is a mover this week. He's gone into 58th with 54 points. A mover this week again is Kev Clark with his Wolf Raven. He's gone 41 points. He's gone into 55th. Paul G, wishing upon a star, has climbed into 51st place with his 35 points. And then from top to bottom, George G, 71 points this week, has climbed into 47th. Brendan, with his 39 points, has climbed into 41st. Peter Parat, 40 points this week, has taken him to 40th. Young James, 58 points, has taken him to 39th. Neil, 35 points has taken him into 36th. Tot Spurs, 43 points has taken him up into 33rd. David Powell, 41 points has taken him up to 31st. Phil P, 41 points for Phil, taking him into 29th. Grant, with that's proper Minte, my mate, the Brighton supporter, 40 points has taken him into 28th. Nathan Petis, 41 points has taken him into 26th. And there's tumbles, there's lots of reds here. Brian, 45 points has taken him up to 21st. Not many big points this week. Ped, last year's winner, has climbed up 52 points this week, has taken him to 15th place. Then you've got Archer. Archer, 44 points, has taken him up into 12th. Ronnie, 42 points, puts him up into 10th place, up into the top 10, Ronnie. Rahman, 36 points, has taken him up to 8th. Ed M, 51 points, has taken him up into 4th. Steve D, he's 43 points, has taken him up to 3rd. And there's no change at the top. Although Stuart has made an imprint because he's got 18 points more than Nick, and he's closed the gap to 3 points. But let's be frank, Nicholas Collison leads the way on 763 points. So well done. Anyone in green, I've read out. Anybody that's remained in grey, you remain in the same position. Anyone in red, you've obviously gone down. So well done, you guys, for this week. And now we come to that part of the show where I ask you, how many points do you think you got in your predictions? Archer says, who's Kevin Clark? I don't remember ever seeing him in the chat. Kev works with me, and he's a season ticket holder season ticket holder. He's in the South Stand with his son, daughter, and son-in-law, and he goes a lot on. He comes in the chat sometimes, but he goes a lot on. You'll find him a lot on Spurs Diehards. Kevin Clark, really nice chap. He is. He's in all the competitions that we do apart from this one. Ryan G says, I'll be lucky if I've got 20 points this week in the FPL. Had an all-timer bad week. I don't know how many points you got, but you'll know. Ryan G says he thinks he got 7 points. Ryan G says he thinks he got 7. Ryan G, you'd be wrong. Daz says he thinks he got 3. Daz, you would also be wrong. Nick says he thinks he got 8. Nick. No, Nick, you'd be wrong as well. Shemtam says, I think I got about 9, but it'd be wishful thinking. Shemtam thinks he got 9. Shemtam, you'd be wrong. Ryan G, you can only have one stab at this. You know the rules, mate. If you start putting more than one number down, I only give the first one that you've done. But Shemtam is wrong. Every single one of you. And good afternoon to Koi72, says afternoon, Jose in chat. Good afternoon, sir. I hope you are well. Everybody so far that's told me their numbers are wrong. Completely wrong. Yeah, this week was absolutely well, it was a bad week. All I was going to say, it was a bad week for me. I had a bad week. I had a poor week. Colin B's here, says good afternoon, Jose. I hope you're well. Any guesses at what you got, Colin, this week? Archer's not guessed yet. Archer's here in the chat and he hasn't guessed how many he got either. Normally Archer's the first one in. Archer's got something to say, he normally says it. But I haven't seen Archer score either. Colin B reckons, I don't know what Colin B says he thinks he got 10. Ooh. Colin B, you didn't get 10 this week. You are not there either. About time, Jose. Ryan, compared to other people, I had a bad week. That's what I'm going to say. Compared to others, I had a bad week. I was below average this week compared to others this week. Anyone else? Anyone else want to guess what they got? Jack Spurs says, evening chat. And Jose, good evening, Jack. Jack, do you know how many points you got in the predictions this week? Archer and Jack, tell me what you think, and then we can go. Because I think you're the only two that we've got here that are live at the moment that can tell me. Other people haven't either are hiding. Jack says he think he got 6. Jack says he thinks he got 6. Jack, you'd be wrong as well. Jack, you didn't get 6 points. You're wrong as well. So at the moment, everybody is wrong on the points that they got. Yeah, everybody's wrong. Archer has gone extremely quiet. Archer, you going to let us know how many you got? Anybody else? It's the breaking news. Look, breaking news is going to be coming up in a minute. No, nobody else wishing to guess. Sports. You're not playing the game, are you? Let me have a look. Just before we reveal it. There's 19 people watching. There's only 14 likes. What is going on, people? Get your like button up. Get your like button up. Right. Okay. Seeing I've got nobody else talking. If Archer then writes anything in here, I'm going to ignore because he's ignored me up until now. Right. Let's go and see where we are with the scores for this week. Right. Let's have a look. Here is where we are for the week. Hopefully you can see this. Right. So, game number 1. In game number 1, it was Burnley 0, Chelsea 2. And here we had a green for Archer, got the correct score. Ronnie got the correct score. Ryan G correctly scored that one. Graham, correct score. Ed M got the correct score. Alan, Scott, Jack all got the correct score. Ian got the correct score. And Paul G got the correct score. So they all bagged themselves 3 points for that game. Anybody that got an orange means you went for the away victory and got a point. Anyone in white, including me, got nothing, got niente, got nada, got jack shite for me thinking that Burnley could turn Chelsea over. And this is what you got to do. You got to take punts. You got to take punts. Game number 2 ended Bournemouth 2, West Ham 2. Quite a surprise. I think everybody near enough had a home victory for this, but it was a 2-2 draw. And Ian is the only person who predicted a draw at 1-1. So Ian picked up a point for that. Game number 3, Brighton 2, Brentford 1. I needed one more goal, and I would have bagged myself a green, but I didn't get that one more goal. So the people here are the boring people. I say 2-1s and 1-2s are boring scores. I don't often go for 2-1s and 1-2s, but the boring score prevailed in this game, and it was Drula, Archer, Jess, Shemtan, Totspurs, Cole, Daz, David, Chris P, Neil, Nick, James, Vindaloo, and Ian all correctly predicted the 2-1 scoreline in that game and therefore bagged themselves 3 points. Anyone with an orange or bronze colour means that you went for a Brighton victory, a home win, and you bagged yourself a point. Game number 4 ended up Fulham 1, Sunderland 0. Another game where I scored one goal, one more goal, and I would have bagged myself a green there. You know, fine margins, as they keep saying in the Premiership. It's fine margins. But in this game, nobody predicted the correct score for Fulham versus Sunderland. But there was a lot of people, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 hearty souls went for a Fulham home victory and scored themselves a point. Liverpool 0, Forest 3. Nobody predicted the scoreline over an away victory there. So nobody picked up a point for Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. And then we move on to Wolves 0, Crystal Palace 2. And in this, correct scoreline came in from yours truly, my one and only Green this week. And then Archer also got it correct. Colin B got that correct. Graham scored the 3 there as well and got it correct. Ed M correctly predicted that. Vindaloo correctly predicted it. Ian correctly predicted it. And so did Kuva, all bagging 3 points. Everybody else in bronze or orange, whatever colour you want to call it, who got a point, obviously went for a Crystal Palace away victory and picked up a point. We then went to Newcastle versus Man City. Again, it was a 2-1. Well, sorry, not again, but it was a 2-1 victory. And in this, David Shear correctly predicted a 2-1 victory. And the only other person who predicted a home win for Newcastle was Daz and picked himself up a point. Boo! Arsenal 4, Tottenham 1. Caned we were. Caned at the Emirates. And 3 people predicted a Arsenal home victory, which is quite surprising. But mind you, seeing all the Tottenham group here, it's, you know, we're going to back our team. But 3 points, or sorry, 3 points. I mean, 3 FREE. 3 points went out to Ryan G, Scott C, and Vindaloo. Vindaloo, not surprising, he's got a home Arsenal win, but 3 of you picked up 1 point for predicting the home victory, but none of you got the correct scoreline. And then last night you had Man United 0, Everton 1, an away victory. Alan was the only one that predicted an away victory and therefore picked up a point. The bonus games. Rijeka beat Hajduk Split 5-0. Now, anybody that I'm not a betting man, but when I pick these games, I look at the odds. And when I looked at the odds for this game, they were stacked, and I'm talking big time stacked in Hajduk Split's favour. And Hajduk Split lost 5-0. 5-0 they lost. And in the end, 1 point was picked up by David Shear, and another point was picked up by Ian for correctly predicting the home victory. But it went completely against everybody, that scoreline. Then we had Mladavada versus Sparta Prague. It ended up being a 1-2 victory to Sparta. So 1-2. And the correct scoreline came in from Archer, Shemtam, Ryan G, Jack, and Young James. And Paul G all correctly predicted and got 3 points. Anybody in orange or bronze in that game, that you would have picked up a point because you had a Sparta away win. And the last game was, I have to refresh myself. The last game was between Napredak and Kukariki, and this ended up being a 1-1 draw. And in the 1-1 draw, the correct prediction came in from Shemtam, correctly predicted a 1-1 draw, got 3 points. Nita predicted a 1-1 draw and got 3 points. Alan predicted a 1-1 draw and again scored 3 points. And you had 1 point picked up by Graham, who predicted a 2-2 draw. Everybody else went for either a home or away victory. I tell you what, I've missed Paul G at the bottom there. Paul G, I've done you a wrong in here. Paul G, I've got to change that. Paul G had the draw. Paul G, I didn't see Paul G, so I've changed that. Too late to change it anywhere else at the moment, but I will change it here so it's there for next week. Paul G doesn't move up any places, but does close the gap on the person above him. Did I miss anyone else on that last one? No, it's the only person I missed. Right, so with that, adding that into it, the average points for this week were 8.48. So 8.5 points is your average for the week. So if you scored 9 and above, you were above average. 8 and below, you were below average. So this week's scores on the doors are Jose, 6 points, below average. Drula, 5 points, below average. Archer, joint man of the week, 12 points. Jess, 6 points, below average. Colin B, 6 points, below average. Shemtam, 12 points. Another joint man of the week for Shemtam. Well done, Shem. Ronnie, 7 points, below average. Ryan G, 8 points, below average. Top Spurs, 9 points, above average. Carl, 7 points, below average. Daz, 6 points, below average. Graham, 11 points, above average. Nita, 6 points, below average. David Shear, 8 points, below average. Edem, 9 points, above average. Chris Peters, 9 points, above average. Neil, 7 points, below average. Alan, 11 points, above average. Scott C, 10 points, above average. Jack, 10, above average. Nick, 10, and above average. James, 9, and above average. Vindaloo, 10, double points, or double figures, should I say, and above average. Ellie, 5 points, below average. Kuva, 7 points, below average. And Paul G, although that's wrong, it's wrong there, scored 11 points, which is above average. So well done, Paul. I've managed to find the one that I didn't have for you. So well done. I'm glad I saved it. But I've amended it on the table, which I can't amend on here. But the table will reflect that you've got 3 more points. Who we got? We got Nick says, wow, I did better, way better than I thought. Carl says, what a crap predictions week that was, just as useless as Spurs. Shemtam says, it's funny how your voice changes in a surprise sound when I get one right. No, Shem, you're the one that doubts yourself. You're the one that puts the effort in. You're the one that gets the points. And I think it's brilliant. But you're the one that doubts yourself. But you're doing well, Shem. You're doing well. And you can see when you look at the Predict the Prem, because usually people pick the same scores for Predict the Prem and here. And if they're doing that, you can kind of tell where people are at. And Shem, you're up there. What was you in third place, Shem, or something? So you're right up there. So it doesn't surprise me. Ryan G says, Man United were a disgrace last night. Archer says, sorry, was on the phone, just tuned back in. Yeah, right. Pull the other one, son. Ryan G says, Amarin needs a sack. And Archer says that Hajduk results seemed really unusual. Yes, Mr. Googler. Mr. Googler Archer, you know that the odds were heavily stacked in the favour for Hajduk. So I don't know what happened there, but it could be that the betting industry might want to look into their match because, yeah, from the odds that they were to lose 5-0. And then Shemtown says the bonus games saved him. Shemtown, it doesn't matter whether it's bonus games or not. You got 12 points, your man of the week, along with Archer, and I forgot a special mention for Ian as well. Ian also got 12 points. So 3 people scored 12 points this week and all got joint man of the week. So we love caring and sharing. We're sharing it about. There's a fair few different people every week. It's not always Jose, but every week people get man of the week or woman of the week. It's brilliant. Sharing is caring. Right. What does that do to the league table then? I tell you what it does to the league table. The league table is there. So, pull the other one, Archer. Right. So, Jack. Jack has gone into 30th. So, Jack has climbed this week. Anyone in green has climbed. If there's any bronze or orange, it means that they've broken the 100 barrier. And if there's any other or the 200 barrier, but that's not happened yet. But you've got Jack Spurs. Jack has gone into 30th place with his haul this week, so he sits just behind Razzle Dazzle. Paul G, you are still in 27th, but you've now got 81 points, Paul, because I've added your 3 points that I'd missed. So you've got 81 points, but I've done it on my league table here, but not here. But I've amended it, so you'll be on the correct score. David Shear, his score this week I don't know, how much did David score this week? David Shear scored 8 points this week, but that was enough to take David into 23rd place. So David has climbed. Scott C this week scored 10 points, and Scott has managed to jump into 19th place on the back of that. And how does the rest of it look? Well, the rest of it looks like so. Ed M is up into 14th place. Ed M this week scored 9 points. That was enough to take him into 14th. Shem Tam, there you go, Shem. Shem with his 12 points, joint man of the week, has taken him up into 12th place. So Shem Tam's knocking on that door. Nick has gone up into 10th place with his 10 points as well. But Shem, you're only 2 points off Nick. And you're only behind Colin B because of the fact that he's got more correct predictions than you, but you and Colin share the same points. And then Graham is the other mover. Graham has now gone above Jess on correct score difference into 7th. And the rest of the 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st all remain unchanged. Archer obviously has cut my lead by 6 points because Archer got 12 this week. Another he was man of the week, joint man of the week as well. And his points cut me down to 20-point lead. So I was 26, I'm now 20. But the interesting thing is Vindaloo's also cut the points down on me, but not on Archer, because Vindaloo scored, I think, 10. So Archer did him by 2 points this week. So Archer's actually opened up on Vindaloo by 2 further points. So there you have it, girls and boys. That is your league table for the week. Right, so Friday, I've currently got a show on Friday. So we've been having issues with StreamYard, all right, and I refuse to give them another penny until these issues are sorted out. So I've now gone on to the cheap frills, so I can't play an intro, I can't do anything at all. So I'm on the cheap frills at the moment, but I'm currently exploring another streaming site at the moment. And the streaming site that I'm doing, I'm being taught how to use it, but I've set my show up in that streaming site for Friday. So week 13 will be on Friday, and it'll be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I've not checked for the matches yet. Let me have a quick check on the matches, because I know I set the show up for 4 o'clock on Friday. Is there any matches on Friday? No, there isn't. Okay, so Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so that means that with the games being 5 Saturday and 5 on Sunday, the results show would be next Monday, the 1st of December. Oh, no, I don't believe it. Oh, how are we going to fit this in? Okay, I didn't know about this. Right, so on Monday, the 1st. Oh, how am I going to do this? How are we going to do this? Right, on Monday the 1st, I didn't realise you got midweek games next week. I can either drop the midweek games, or it'll be a 4 o'clock show for the results, and it might have to be a 10 o'clock in the evening show to do the predictions for next week, because there's midweek games. And then the results show would have to be on Friday, along with predictions for week 14. It's tricky when you get into December. Yeah, there's games all the way to the 8th, because when you get into December, you start getting midweek games and all sorts. Okay. Right, so next week, good afternoon, Ed. I hope you're well. Next week, we've got a decision to make. So this week's on Friday. Results show will be on Monday at 4 o'clock. Because there are matches on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to have to see when we can do the show. I don't know what my work situation is and how I'm set up for work at the moment. So I don't know whether I can do it on the 2nd at 4 o'clock or whether I need to do it on the 1st. And if it's the 1st, it may well be the evening. Ed, sorry you missed it so far, mate, but you're this week, Ed. There you go, Ed. Let me get you back in there. Let me show you where you are, Ed. Ed, this week you scored, sir. Ed, you scored 9 points, which is above average. You scored 9 points this week, Ed, which is above average. And them 9 points, Ed, have made you climb up into 14th. Right, so that's you, Ed. I think you also did well. I think you did well in fantasy. Did you climb in fantasy? Yeah. Let's show Ed. Although Ed can see it himself because you can get access to it. But on fantasy, Ed, you also climbed. It's only because you've just joined. There you go, Ed. On fantasy, you've climbed into 4th place. So you've gone up. You've gone up above Mark Oliver. You've overtaken Mark Oliver. You've gone into 4th place. You're 3 points behind 3rd. So, Ed, you are one of the ones that made a positive move in fantasy. There was a lot of negative moves in fantasy this week because it was so low scoring this week. Yeah, so what I'll say is that what we're going to have to do is 4 o'clock Friday. We'll do the predictions for this week. The results show will definitely be on Monday at 4 o'clock. So you'll have a 4 o'clock Friday for predictions, 4 o'clock Monday for results. As for next week midweek games, I won't be able to tell you when we're going to do them until next week because I don't know what my work situation is like. I don't know what days I'm around and whatnot. So we'll have to take it from there. Mr. M's here says, evening. Wenger out, Mr. M. Wenger out, as we always say. I hope you're well, sir. I hope you and life are doing well. Thunder Road says, did he name this channel after Matthias Tell? Thunder Road? Do you not know who El Tell is? El Tell? You might be too young, but El Tell was Terry Venables. He was called El Tel when he went and managed at Barcelona, but then he came to Tottenham and El Tel, his name came with him as well. So El Tel is a name after our very own Terry Venables. That's what El Tel means. It's got nothing to do with Matthias. El Tel is Terry Venables. Lee Wiz is here. Hello, Wiz. Hello, Lee. How are you, mate? I hope you're well. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. I hope you and life is well. Obviously, football-wise, I can't say too much to you because we both took a beating this weekend. But I hope you're well. I'm being asked, do we bowl? Daz says, do you bowl first next test, Jose? Do you know what? Do you know what, Daz? The way that we played in the first test, I've actually I was all geared up and I was all interested, geared up and interested for the Ashes. But after watching the first test and knowing that they've got their big boys to come back, so they've got Hazelwood to come back, they've got Cummins to come back, so their bowling attack just gets better. And I'm just thinking to myself, I mean, David Shear will always tell me that the English batsmen haven't got the technique and they don't score runs out of it because as soon as you start putting it onto fifth stump, our players waft and play at the ball, and they do. They play and miss and they waft at the ball. If you wanted to have a good start, Perth was the place to start and have a good start. The pitches that we're going to go and play on do favour Australia. Yeah, again, you have to wait to see what the pitch is like and that. But my thoughts on England are not as high as what they were after Perth. We took a right beating in Perth. Let's make no bones about it. We took a right beating. The scorecards will say we lost by, I don't know, by 8 wickets or whatever like that, but we got absolutely trounced. They knocked them 202 runs off in like 30 or 40 overs. It was ridiculous. It was proper trav Trav ball did our Baz ball. Daz says give the ball to the spinners. You can give it to the spinners, Daz. But who's a proven spinner out in Australia? Nathan Lyon. Nathan Lyon will take wickets all day long. We got Shad Bashir. Shad Bashir, who may be able to lock it down. He's 6 foot, whatever. He's so tall, but Shad's so raw, and he gets pummeled. He gets sent for loads of runs. As I said, my interest has kind of waned a bit. I'm gonna have to see what the first day is like to see whether it picks up. My interest picks up again, but yeah, I just thought to myself, thank you. I don't support Tottenham. I just clicked on live to see what channels are live and came here for the first time. So thank you very much, Thunder Road, for coming here. Who do you support, Thunder Road, out of curiosity? Who? Let me know who you support. Um, or obviously you must like football. If you found this channel, then you must like football. Who do you support, Thunder Road? We welcome everybody. We've got supporters from lots of different clubs that come here. Yes, it's a majority is Tottenham, but we do get lots of people that come from other clubs. In the table, Ryan, who's that? I rise above. He says I support chicken. Yay, he supports chicken. Right, Ryan G, where are you in the league table, Ryan G? Right, Ryan, you're in sixth. You haven't moved. You're still in sixth place. Ian obviously got more points than you this week, and has opened up a bit of a further gap than you. But you're still in sixth place, mate. You're still in sixth place. 99 ahead with 1 wicket down at lunch, day two, end of day two, the game over. That says it all, Ronnie. I mean, at the end of the day, I just like, yeah, whatever. It depends. I mean, at the end of the day, however elegant, what's his name? Crawley looks. Crawley is susceptible. He plays and misses. He's susceptible to it. The player I didn't used to rate was Duckett, but Duckett outscores Crawley all the time. Ollie Pope, he's under the pump at the moment for his position with Bethel breathing down his neck. But Pope's looked a far more solid batsman than the rest of them have. Joe Root's all at sea, and he's got his nemesis to come back and play. So when Cummins keeps getting him out all the time, so what is there to look forward to? Thunder Road supports the Arsenal. Yep, you certainly did a number on us, Thunder Road. Congrats to you lot. I think that we kind of gave the game away soon as I saw the team announcement from us. I think we kind of gave the game away, and we got absolutely trounced by Arsenal. Yeah, 4-1. We got trounced. Yeah, so I don't. Do you know what? I'm so interested that I don't even know when the second test is. When does the second test start? I'll have to look it up because I haven't got a clue. I do not even know when the second test starts. That's how disinterested I was after the first match. The Ashes. Okay, it doesn't tell me when the Ashes. Right, scores and fixtures. All right, Friday the 28th. There's no matches this week then. Saturday the 30th. No. Monday the 1st. No. Thursday the 4th of December. And they're playing at Brisbane. Fucking hell, 4 o'clock in the morning start. How many hours are they ahead of us? Are they 9 hours ahead of us? It was 4 o'clock in the morning start here in England. If it's an 11 o'clock in the morning start, that means that they're 9 hours ahead of us. If it's an 10 o'clock in the morning start for them, which I doubt, then it makes them 4 o'clock. It's a day-night game with a pink ball. Okay, if it's a day-night game, right? The team that bowls first win the test. The team that bowls first wins the test because the team that bowls first invariably gets wickets at the start, right? And after getting wickets at the start, when the night draws in and the dew draws in, they wrap it up. So whoever bowls first ends up winning that test. No point in watching any more of the test. Whoever bowls first, it should win that test. Ryan says, I'm dreading playing Arsenal in a few weeks' time. It will be a cricket score. When do Wolves play Arsenal then? Are you home or away against them? I don't know if you're home or away against them, Ryan. Yeah, tonight it's interesting. You got some. So tomorrow night, just curious. I'm at a black tie event tomorrow night, and being at a black tie event, I will be missing Tottenham versus PSG. And then on Saturday, I go out for a drink with the Monday lads. So the people that I play football with on a Monday, we all go out for our Christmas drink on Saturday evening. And I think we're meeting in a bar at half 7. And I know that the bar, we're meeting in a Witherspoons bar. And as far as I'm concerned, Witherspoons don't have televisions because they don't follow the sport and that. So I don't think I'll be watching the Fulham game either. So there we go. You're at home, you think, but it doesn't really matter. You get bad. Wanderers get bad everywhere we go. Right, people. Thank you very much. The news has just come in that Ronaldo has been cleared for the World Cup owner despite a red card. How has that happened? Right. This is how crooked it is, right? People that get a red card, you're banned, right? Violent conduct normally carries a 3-match ban, but Ronaldo has had his second and third matches suspended for a year. He understands that the fact that it's his first red card in 226 international appearances was taken into account. Ronaldo sat out the match against Armenia on the 16th of November, so will not miss any games in the United States next summer. What an absolute farce. That is absolutely farcical. Ronaldo, his red card should have given him 3. His red card should have given him 3. Right. Anyway, people, I'm going to have to jump because I'm going to go out for dinner with my girls because it's their birthdays, I keep saying. But thank you, everyone, for watching today. That's your results. Please hit the like button on your way out. It'd be really nice of you. And I will catch up with you all on Friday for week 13 predictions. So take care, everyone. I'll see you later. And as always, it's come on, you Spurs.